So, Veronica, after looking over the salary and the job description, did you have any questions? Yes, actually, in the job description, I see at the bottom it says additional duties as assigned. Are you able to just describe a little bit more of what's going to be expected aside from what's already listed? I would honestly love to be able to tell you every single thing that you're going to be doing in this role, but it would just take forever. There's just too many variables when it comes to this position. So I wouldn't be able to tell you what those additional duties, sometimes they just come up and we're just going to ask you to do them. And it's just, it kind of falls into that whole additional duties, if that makes sense. And I get that. I understand that you can't tell me every single thing that I'm going to be expected to do. But where does it end? At what point do you now add 15 additional duties to my job description without additional pay? I hope that makes sense. It does make sense. There's really just no way for me to list everything out for you. We really look for team players and team members that are willing to step up in times of need.
Team, I'd like to apologize that we're not able to continue with this meeting. I had the presentation on the agenda. Unfortunately, I haven't received it yet from Veronica. So what we're going to do is we're going to just postpone until I receive the email, hopefully within the next couple hours. And then Veronica, you're trying to share your screen? Yeah, I'd like to share my screen because I'd like to show you something. If it has something to do with the presentation, just go ahead and email it to me and we can discuss it. Well, that's why I would like to share my screen. Well, you were on a deadline for this presentation. And so do you have different questions? So what I was going to share my screen and show is that I sent that email 2 days ago and you opened it and you read it because I have the red receipt. No, that's highly inaccurate and extremely inappropriate actually on this meeting with other people, and it's recorded, and you're basically telling me that I received this email and ignored it. No, you were just, I also want to be respectful of everyone's time and not sit here and waste everyone else's time. No, you were just talking about how you couldn't show the presentation to the team because I hadn't sent it to you. So I wanted to clarify that I had sent it to you. You read it and maybe you just forgot or you deleted it, but this is not on me. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and show you that I did not receive it. I don't delete any emails. Hold on. I think I'm losing connection, guys. I'm so sorry. Hold on.
So all countries have come together and we decided on an across-the-board salary increase.
This is perfect. I find this is a win.
Now let's talk about inflation. So where do we start?
Wait,
Go
ahead. Wait a minute. Hold on. So I'm confused. The point of making an around the world, across the board salary increase was so that we could close the gap between salaries and inflation. If we inflate again, then the gap opens again. Wasn't that the point of this meeting?
I understand what you're saying, but if we put salaries up, then we have to inflate everything.
I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is that inflation has been going up without salaries going up. So we're kind of playing catch up with salaries going up. So we don't have to inflate anything right now because inflation has already been happening. So there's no need to put things up again because salaries haven't gone up at the same rate as inflation. Salaries have gone up by like 0.5%, whereas inflation has gone up by like 400%. Does that make sense, or I'm not making it? Okay.
So what I'm understanding is that you don't think that we should put salaries up at all. Is that
That's not what I'm saying at all, actually.
Then I'm confused.
And that there is the understatement of the year. Team, I have some great news. We reached 10 billion with a B in profits for last quarter, thanks to all of your hard work. So as a reward, we have personalized cookies in the break room. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Does anyone else have any questions or comments? Veronica, you said they were personalized. So do they have does each cookie have the name of an employee that contributed to this $10 billion profit? Um, they're personalized for the company. So they say the company logo. So they're personalized for us, and it says the CEO's name, my name, and our CFO. So they're personalized though. Oh, you have another question? Go ahead. Yeah, I do have another question actually. Uh, the only cookies that I saw on the counter in there were the sugar cookies that I brought from Publix yesterday. Is it those same cookies that you're referring to? There's no way it's the same cookie, Veronica, because these have 10 billion written on the back. Well, I did see Samantha writing on the back of what looked like a sugar cookie with a Sharpie. So, well, Sharpie is non toxic, okay? Since you know everything, why don't you know that? Anyway, go enjoy the cookies. We didn't get the milk because of lactose intolerance. We didn't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. So, cookies are there. All right, meeting adjourned. Hey, boss. I have a quick question about this Constitution paper. You wanted me to fill out the Fifth Amendment? Yeah, sure, Veronica. What's your question? Well, it basically says here that the suspect doesn't have to speak. Don't we want them to speak? Don't we want them to confess to their crime? Well, we don't want them hindering our investigation. I think it's just best for us to be able to conduct a full investigation of the occurrence, and so we don't we don't want them to tell us what they did. We want to be able to figure it out. Okay, but then it also uh, states that we can compel a witness or a victim to speak. Like we can kind of force them to speak. Why can't we just force the suspect to speak? This way we don't have to do the whole investigation. Well, because it's their right not to. And we need the witnesses to help us put the puzzle pieces together. Okay, so let me get this straight. So if a suspect doesn't speak, then there's no consequence. If a witness or a victim, not necessarily a victim, but if a witness doesn't want to speak, they can get arrested. Exactly. And then, because now they're under arrest, they now don't have to speak because now they're the suspect. I You sound like you got it. You sound like you understand it. So, um am I misunderstanding your question, or where are we? What's going on? Yeah, no, I maybe understand the premise, but my thing is, if we can force the eyewitness, not the person who did it, just the person who saw someone do it, if we can force them to speak, why can't we just force the person who did it to speak? I feel like the question should make more sense than what you're making me feel like it doesn't. Well, our goal here is to never make you feel stupid. I know you didn't use that word. That's just the first word that came to mind. Why don't you go ahead and read the entire Constitution, and it'll all make sense eventually, I think.